Land subdivision has become increasingly common as population grows. Families divide inherited land. Friends pool resources to buy property. And developers subdivide for value. But when the process is rushed, land has a way of correcting you. And this is exactly what happened to John. Our friend John is a corporate manager working in town. Every day he commutes. Every month, rent takes a serious bite out of his income. One day, sitting at his desk, he has a realization. If I own my home, I eliminate rent. I only deal with commuting. This idea makes sense to him, but prime land is expensive and buying a road is not realistic. So what does John do? John does what many Kenyans do. He calls a few close friends and some college buddies. They form a group and agree to contribute a fixed amount every month. Over 1 year, the contributions are completed. And within this time, they had been eyeing Mzee Mambo's plot for some time now. They go to him and they discuss their deal. And the deal is crossed, the land is purchased, the transfer is done, and the title is registered in the group's name. Having bought the plot, the excitement is very high. So what do? They want to see each and everyone. Where does their plot extend to? They call a surveyor. They show him the boundary as it was pointed out by Mzee Mambo. The surveyor insists on confirming the boundary officially, but the group isn't interested in bureaucracy. They don't want delays. They just want to see who owns which portion. So the surveyor does the only thing he can at this point. He partitions the land informally, placing indicative posts and not regal beacons. Looking at this, it reminds me of when I was growing up. Seeing beacons on the ground was a very rare case because the land was very vast and boundaries were assumed with hedges. Because people believed who would move a 1 kilometer boundary, it feels unnecessary. And this is what led John and his group to believe the fence was the boundary. A few months later, news break. The road adjacent to their land is being upgraded to a tarmac road. Of course, this is excellent news. Infrastructure means accessibility, and accessibility means value. Just with this excitement, John receives a letter. He opens it, and what does he find? They are explaining that their land is encroaching on a road reserve. This is a big shock to John. And immediately, he goes back to the surveyor, urgently and in a rush. But the surveyor now advises him on what to do and how to formally follow the process. What do? An official land search is conducted. The registry index maps and parcel plans are obtained, which indicate the legal positions of the land. With these instruments, the surveyor can now re-establish and confirm the boundaries on the ground. And in doing this, the truth becomes clear. The fence had indeed encroached into the road reserve. There is no argument with this case because maps don't negotiate. And when it comes to reserves, there is no discussion. The land must be returned to what it was once set for. Now, with the parcel boundaries restored, the group can now proceed properly with the formal subdivision process, whereby a scheme plan is prepared by the surveyor with the help of a registered physical planner. This is then submitted to the county to obtain approvals for subdivision, and the same copy is submitted to the Land Control Board in order to apply and to get a consent. When a consent for subdivision is offered, the surveyor can now return to the ground and formally establish the boundaries with regal beacons. From this, the surveyor then proceeds to drawing a new mutation indicating the new layout of the parcel with the subdivisions in it. Then this mutation is submitted to the registry in order for issuance of new parcel numbers. When new numbers are issued, they are to be registered, and when they are registered, it's when a new title is issued. The new titles are issued indicating the group members and each one with an individual parcel number. So if you are planning a land subdivision, here's the correct process. First, conduct an official land search. Second, obtain the RIM and survey plans. Third, confirm boundary extent on the ground. Fourth, prepare a scheme plan for approvals. Fifth, obtain Land Control Board consent. Sixth, carry out the ground survey. Seventh, submit a new mutation. Eighth, register the new numbers. And lastly, number 9 is issuance of new titles. In land matters, if you skip the steps, land will expose you, because land does not forgive assumption. It only respects procedure.